Yo, what is up, you guys? This is ThatKneeGah, and I am here with some NBA 2K14 gameplay in the background. And also, I want to talk about what happened to Paul George last night, the injury, and also the Pacers' future. Okay. First of all, gameplay in the background is Pacers vs Thunder. Pretty good game, man. If you end up watching the whole game, it was a very entertaining game. Very unique game and crazy game. So if you guys want to pay attention to the game in the background, you can. Doesn't mind me. But I'm gonna be talking about this incident, what happened last night with Paul George and the injury, and how Twitter's blowing up, every social media or network is blowing up, Sports Center's blowing up. It's a tough injury, man. It's a tough injury, and if you guys didn't see it, I will link it in the description. It was pretty disturbing. Basically, what happened was one of his teammates threw a turnover, and James Harden was going for a fast break layup, and basically Paul George went for the block, and boom. His leg went against the mat part on the court, and his leg just snapped. Like, I'm talking about just snapped in half. And it was kind of like it was like the calf, but like a little bit near the ankle too. So that part snapped, and it was just very hard to watch. But I got home last night because I was out. And I got on Twitter, and I kid you not, like, as soon as I got on Twitter, I just saw Twitter just blowing up about Paul George, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So I asked my friend what was going on with Paul George, and he told me to just type in Paul George injury on the Twitter search bar. And I did that, and I was like, ooh, oh, I know what's wrong. And I saw the video, I saw the vines, I saw the picture, and it was just nasty, man. It was crazy how he got injured, and people were saying that if he was playing in the NBA, that wouldn't have happened because the FIBA court is different and it's a little bit closer than the NBA court. So if he was playing in the NBA, he would have landed properly. And you know, that type of injury, man, there's nothing you can do. It just happens. It's one of those things that just happen. And it sucks because it happened in the scrimmage game, and it happened with like 20 something seconds left in the fourth quarter. So it sucks that he got injured right before the game was about to end. And it sucks because it's a scrimmage game, and it's an injury where physically it's going to take about 9 to 12 months to recover. But he's going to miss the whole, like Sports Center just announced, he's going to miss the whole next season, 2014-2015 season for the Pacers. And that's just a blow for the USA team in general, and also the Pacers team. Just a terrible blow. That's your young superstar right there, and he just goes down for crazy injury. And you know, not only just like he's not going to be playing for a year, but also he's going to try to recover from that injury mentally, because that's not an easy thing to do. Because you look at Derrick Rose now, people were making jokes about how Derrick Rose, you know, cursed him with the injury, and it spread it to Paul George like a disease and all this stuff. Just jokes everywhere. And to be honest, no, it's not Derrick Rose's fault. I mean, he has nothing to do with that. If Derrick Rose wasn't there, it would have probably happened anyway. But the thing about Derrick Rose, it took him a while to come back, because he took a whole year trying to mentally get better. He came back the next season, he got injured again, and now he sat down again, trying to get better again. So by the way, Derrick Rose last night was remarkable, just playing beastly, playing like the same year he won the MVP. So I hope he does well again. I really do hope Derrick Rose does well next season, because I do believe he's a beast. And if the Bulls have a good Derrick Rose, y'all better watch out, man. They could be number one in the East. But anyway, getting back to the Paul George incident, crazy, man. It took Derrick Rose a while mentally to get better. So I'm not sure how long it's gonna take Paul George mentally to get better, but I do know that when he plays the game of basketball, he's weak-minded. I'll say that because he lets things get in his head too easily. But I don't know about injuries. Injuries are different from trash talking and just like stuff like in the media and all that stuff. But maybe he could be mentally strong when it comes to injuries. But this one is new to him, never happened to him before. So it's crazy, man. So I want to see how he bounces back, when he comes back from his injury. And I'm hoping he could play the way he played before, because I want to see Paul George do good. People were saying, like, while he was working out and practicing the whole summer, that, he looked good, he wanted to get better, he wanted to redeem himself from what happened last year. Not the first half of the season, but the second half, how he had that huge slump. So he said he did say he wanted to redeem himself. It sucks that he doesn't have the opportunity to do that anymore, because he's not gonna be playing next season. But the injury was terrible, man. Just hard to watch. And if you guys didn't see it, I will link you in the description. I'll link you the video and the picture. It's very nasty. It kind of reminds you of what happened to Kevin Ware a couple of years ago. Just a nasty injury. Except Kevin Ware, the only difference is Kevin Ware injured his whole top knee part. That leg. Like, he injured his whole leg was just floppy. Floppy, just nasty floppy. Paul George's injury was it was kind of like half his leg. It was pretty nasty still. But you haven't seen Kevin Ware's injury too, which is pretty hard to believe. I'll link you in the description also. But I'm not gonna show any of those pictures, those videos in my video, because it's pretty nasty to see. But that's only if you guys want to see it, okay? So anyway, that's the Paul George injury, and he will be out the whole next season. And I'm gonna pray for him, man. I hope he does come back, because even though I'm not a Pacers fan, I'm a Spurs fan. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the Pacers, I do like seeing Paul George, man. I like his game. He kind of reminds me of LeBron, just that big, small forward, dunking, playing good defense. So he is a great player, man, and it would suck for him, if he wasn't as good as he was a couple years back, even last year. So I do hope he has a full recovery and a quick recovery and a healthy one too. And I hope that injury doesn't reoccur again, because that would suck. But I hope he comes out strong, man. I hope he plays really well in the next 2 years from now, I can say. So I want to talk about the Pacers' future real quick. To be honest, it sucks, because the Pacers even though they lost Lance Stevenson, they still had a legit chance making the playoffs and trying to make some noise again with Evan Turner just trying to, now Evan Turner is kind of fitting in with the Pacers, I guess. Maybe they can do better than what they did last year. And Roy Hibbert, just a big disappointment last year, just struggling the whole season. Just terrible season from him. I doubt he does that again. I hope he doesn't, because that would tear his career up. But it's gonna suck for the Pacers, man, next year. To be honest, unless Roy Hibbert goes off and the other players on the Pacers go off, like George Hill and stuff, I cannot see Pacers really making the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, they would be like the 7th seed or the 8th seed. And the only reason why they would make the playoffs is because the East is so bad. That's the only reason why I believe they have a slight chance of making the playoffs, because the East is bad. Even though the Cavaliers just got a whole lot better, still there's not a lot of strong teams in the East like the West. But to be honest, I really don't see Pacers making the playoffs without Paul George. It's gonna be a terrible, depressing season for the Pacers, man. And I mean, I don't really care for the Pacers. I feel sorry for your Pacers fan though. I feel sorry for you guys because I know you guys. I bet your favorite player was Paul George, and you guys probably love watching him after that 360 dunk, all those other dunks he did during the season. So I know you guys love Paul George, and it's gonna suck that you're not gonna be able to watch him next year. If I was you guys, I would just brace myself. I would just prepare for a bad season, just a hard season to watch, and I would just focus on how Paul George is doing, how we're gonna do 2 years from now. Can we get back to the playoffs? Can we be contenders and try to win a title? All that stuff, man. Pacers organization, it sucks, and it sucks because Paul George just signed a 5-year contract, max deal, I think, with the Pacers. So like, it sucks to see how Paul George will respond to that contract. Like, it sucks that you can't see that because he's not gonna be playing his first year under the contract. So to be honest, it's gonna be a bad season for y'all. It's gonna be a bad season, pretty depressing. But we will see how it turns out. Anything's possible. Just terrible loss, man. And I do pray for Paul George. I hope he recovers pretty fast. And that's it, man. That's my opinion on the Pacers, man. I just don't believe they're gonna make the playoffs. That's just my honest opinion. And if you Pacers fan want to bash me, I mean, it's okay. I'm just trying to tell you guys how I feel and how I'm just being real with you guys, okay? I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, Pacers, man, it doesn't matter. They don't have Paul George, but they don't have no fear. Pacers fan, you guys are definitely going to have a legit chance winning the title. Heck no. Next season, I'm sorry, not gonna happen. Just focus on next season, like the next season, okay? So we'll see how it turns out. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to share your opinions in the comments below, let me know, man. Let me know, because I want to hear how you Pacers fan feel about this. Just terrible news. It sucks that he got injured like this in a scrimmage game, USA FIBA tournament. Oh man, that's terrible. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the love and support, and I'm out. Peace.